Okay, welcome. This is the Cory Bender Show. This is our last segment of the day. We're going to be talking about the biggest games we have on the schedule for Sunday, and then we're going to pick all the games that are going to happen on Sunday here with Ryan Hartson. And let's dive right into a really intriguing matchup, the Saints versus the Bears. Now, this is going to be played in New Orleans, and the Bears, they looked good against the Falcons. We thought the Falcons were going to blow them out, and that didn't happen at all. The Bears, Jay Cutler looked pretty good. And that's pretty surprising with the lack of weapons he has. What do you see coming into this game?
If Cutler plays in Mike Mart's system like Cutler played last week all year, the Bears can go as far as they want to.
Yeah, they can.
They looked phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
With that defense, excuse me, Cutler playing the way he's playing, if he does that, the Bears are an elite team in the NFC.
Yeah.
In New Orleans, though, against Drew Brees, it's the Superdome. It's against a Saints team that's had 10 days rest. They are furious they didn't get that touchdown on the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
Goal line stand against Green Bay. I like the Saints in this game just because it's Breeze against at home, and the Bears can't possibly play as well as they did in Week 1.
Yeah.
And the Saints are, to me, considerably better than Atlanta.
Yeah.
Atlanta...
Just a little bit.
Atlanta is a... I'm disappointed in Atlanta. I saw it coming. I knew they weren't going to be as good, but at the same time, I'm disappointed in Atlanta.
I understand that.
I'll take the Saints in this game by a solid margin.
I just can't see the Saints going 0-2 starting off the season. Now, granted,
Agreed.
they did face the world champion Green Bay Packers, but I think they'll be able to expose the secondary of the Bears, and they just have to keep control of the pass rush, and they'll be good.
Right.
The next game we have, a lot of people might be shocked by this, the Lions and Chiefs.
It's a big football game.
It is a very big football game because we have the Chiefs who got smoked by the Bills we've talked about before, and then we kind of have our team we're looking up to, the Lions, which we both think have so much potential, and they already could be going maybe 8-8 this year. What do you think from this game?
The Lions played unbelievably against Tampa. That was one of the best football games they've played in 10 years.
Probably.
They were phenomenal.
Yeah.
If Stafford can continue to play like that, it's at home. Will they sell out Ford Field? Will that become a feared dome, similar to what the Georgia Dome is, similar to what the Superdome obviously is?
They need some more work in their secondary, but for right now, I think they start winning some more games. They could start selling out their crowd now.
It's a home game against a team they should beat. When this team that isn't used to winning, the reason this game is interesting is, can a team that hasn't been expected to win, they are now expected to win, how are they going to respond to being hyped for once?
Yeah.
As opposed to being overlooked, as they've been overlooked pretty much all
Forever,
their franchise's history, except for when Barry Sanders was there.
Yeah. Even then, they probably were overlooked just a little bit.
I would agree.
Well, I really don't think the Chiefs will be able to bounce back from that. Matt Castle was god-awful during
Chiefs
that
look
game.
bad. They are going to miss Charlie Weiss on offense
they are.
so much, and I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm a genius. I told you on Monday, man. I'm a witch doctor.
Yeah, you are. And then we have the Packers versus the Panthers. People are saying, wait, why are the Panthers in a big important game, Corey? Well, it's mainly because we want to see how Cam Newton does against the world champion Green Bay Packers. And we want to see if the Packers can either dismantle them or if it actually be a close game, which could happen.
What I think about big games in general is there are games that are big because it's two elite teams going at it, and there are games that are big because it's an intriguing matchup. We know Green Bay is going to win the game.
Yeah.
It's just I want to see if Cam Newton falls on his face against the world champs, or if he's going to come out and play well. I think he's likely to come out and play well. It's a home atmosphere. From what I understand, this was the fastest sellout of a home regular season game in franchise history.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So this is going to be an electric crowd. It's a game where I believe the Packers are 10-point favorites on the road.
Yeah, I think.
How's Green Bay going to handle that? Being the champs and you're totally expected to win. All you have to do is show up and you're going to win. How do they handle that?
Yeah.
I think they're going to handle it well because they are one of the best one game at a time teams in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting because there are a lot of things kind of juggling around.
Yeah. And Cam Newton did look very impressive that game. I just want to see how he does against an elite defense, and I want to see how he does against an elite just pass rush. Because we said before, Clay Matthews is going to do terrible things to him unless the offensive line can protect him.
Right.
But they do have some good weapons on offense with Jeremy Shockey and Greg Olsen. But I think it's either gonna be a huge blowout or they can keep it close for a while. But we all know the Packers are gonna win anyway. But then the next game, probably my favorite one out of this week because it's two elite teams going at it, the Chargers and then the Patriots. Just you can go for it.
It's Phillip Rivers versus Tom Brady.
Two of the worst quarterbacks in the league, right? Yeah.
Two of the 5 or 6 best quarterbacks in the game.
Definitely.
Brady coming off of 5-17. Brady hasn't lost a home game in the regular season since 2006.
Yeah.
And Phillip Rivers continues to lose when he goes to New England.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. It comes down to the defenses on the other side. Can New England... Because New England had a hard time with Chad Henne. Mm-hmm. What are they going to do against Phillip Rivers?
Ooh.
And
Antonio Gates and all those weapons.
And the Chargers had a relatively easy time with Donovan McNabb, but they had a hard time stopping the run. So what is Danny Woodhead and Jarvis Green-Ellis going to do?
Probably not
because
much,
the Patriots can come at you from a million different directions.
Yeah, it's a clash in styles.
If Belichick wants to run the ball, he's going to run the ball.
Yeah.
And they'll probably run it for like 200 yards.
Who knows?
So anything is possible with these two teams. It's going to be a very close game. Thank God it's on TV in our area.
Yeah.
It is. It's on CBS at 3 o'clock.
I'm looking forward
fired
to
up.
it. Yeah.
Fired up about that game. It's not the best game of the weekend because it's only interesting from an X's and O's standpoint. There's nothing extra that gives it a little pop, which is why I think the next game is the game of the week.
Our last game, probably the game of the week, the Eagles versus the Falcons. We talked about this in our first segment. This crowd's going to be electric. Michael Vick is returning back to the team he was drafted by. I think the Eagles will be able to expose their garbage of a secondary and be able to win this game pretty easily, if not by like halftime. And if they don't, I won't be too shocked. But I was disappointed with the Falcons last week because they played terrible against the Bears. And I'll let you go off of
that. With the Falcons had a hard time sacking Jay Cutler, who had the worst offensive line in the league. Their secondary is terrible. Let me ask. If you have a hard time stopping Devin Hester and Matt Forte, how are you going to do against Deshaun Jackson and Shady McCoy? I'm just wondering.
Jeremy Maclin's pretty underrated, too. So
I forgot about him. Jeremy Maclin. You got that,
Jason Avant,
Riley Cooper, that's his name.
Really explosive. They're the most explosive offense in this league. So watch out for a blowout. Watch out for...
Maybe. Matt Ryan has to play better.
He has to throw for 1,000,000 yards in this game.
Matt Ryan has to play better. He has to prove to me that he's an elite quarterback. Yeah. I don't see it.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be hard, especially with Asmawa. I know we're not big on secondaries, but they do have a pretty good secondary with him and Asante Samuel. So
the elite quarterback in their 4th year has taken the step forward.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco has clearly taken that step. Mark Sanchez in his 3rd year has taken that step.
Matt Ryan is still
pretty much on the same level. Is kind of hanging out. Is he going to get to that elite level? Maybe he's hit his ceiling.
Maybe.
This game will be very telling in the story of Matt Ryan, if you will.
Yes. All right, now let's go into pick every game for Sunday. All right, Bills versus Raiders. I'm going to go Bills on this one. What about you?
Bills at home.
All right, Redskins versus Cardinals. I'm going to go with the Cardinals.
It's a 1 o'clock game. West Coast team coming east. Skins.
All right. Vikings versus the Buccaneers. Definitely the Buccaneers.
I'm going to take the Bucs.
All right. We have the Browns versus the Colts. I'm going to take the Browns in this one.
I'm going to take the Browns. Colt McCoy can't be that bad 2 weeks in a row.
No. The Broncos versus the Bengals. I'll just go Broncos just because the Bengals are the worst team in the league.
I'm going to take the Bengals because I think the Broncos are worse.
All right. That's fair enough to say.
Oakland made them look like a CFL team.
Yeah. Yeah. Texans versus the Dolphins.
I want Tebow. They were yelling, put Tebow in when Orton was orchestrating a game-winning drive that didn't work.
I was reading an article about that, how they've been putting billboards up there. It's stupid. But we'll save that discussion for another day.
I hate people so much.
It's okay. Texans versus the Dolphins. I'm going to go with the Texans just because I think head and shoulders just a little bit better. Defensively, they're probably on the same level because I think the pass rush of the Dolphins is pretty good with Cameron Wake, and I can't remember some of the other players on that defense. But I think the Texans will be able to squeak it out just because they have more offensive talent. And what do you think?
Chad Henne throws for 400 yards against New England. Mm-hmm. What's he going to do against a bad defense?
Don't know.
Dolphins at home.
All right.
I'm not buying the Texans.
Upset of the week, pretty much?
Upset of the week.
All right. The Jets versus the Jaguars. Pretty much this game's going to come up to the Jets. They have to make maybe just a few plays, and it could pretty much be over because Luke McCowan is not that good of a quarterback.
This game comes down to the Jets showing up.
Yeah.
The Jets, please.
Yeah, definitely Jets. Ravens versus the Titans. Oh, this is a tough one. God, one of the best teams in the league. I'm going to have to go with the Ravens just on the fact that they crushed the Steelers last week and the Titans have Matt Hasselbeck and no weapons.
Ravens might score 50 points.
Yeah. Steelers versus the Seahawks.
I'm picking the Ravens, by the way. If you didn't notice, I'm picking the Ravens. Sorry, go ahead.
Liar. Yeah, Steelers versus the Seahawks. The Steelers are going to crush them. They're probably just a little pissed off.
Steelers are mad.
Yeah.
I'm picking the Steelers. If you didn't notice, I'm picking the Steelers.
And plus, I don't like, Roethlisberger getting angry. I don't think that's very good. It's not like, he raped a chick or anything.
Agreed.
Yeah. So
he's married now.
Yeah.
Which is seriously, funny. Ben Roethlisberger getting married is like Mike Vick buying a dog.
It's so true.
It shouldn't happen.
It really shouldn't.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Cowboys versus the 49ers. I'm going to go with the Cowboys just because Tony Romo and that offense is very explosive.
Romo or Alex Smith?
Gee, I wonder. An overrated, really overshadowed first overall pick or a really good quarterback?
Cowboys.
Yeah. Big. By 27-7 or something like that. All right, now on to the biggest games we talked about. Saints versus Bears. I'm going to go Saints being at home. And I think they're going to have a lot more confidence because now they know. I don't think they necessarily came in going to Green Bay saying we're going to kick their ass, but probably their mentality was, yeah, they think they're better than us. They're Super Bowl champions. We just won it 2 years ago. And it turned out to be a pretty close game. So I think they'll have a lot of confidence. And I don't think the Bears will have a good enough secondary to stop down all their good receivers.
This game is going to be much closer than people think.
Probably.
Saints by this much. The Bears are very good.
Are you saying last second drive or maybe just fourth quarter?
It's going to be really close.
I think it could be determined by a field goal or a touchdown.
Saints, very close.
Yes.
I'm picking the Saints. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Lions versus Chiefs. I'm going to go with the Lions. You could see the Chiefs pull out one, but Matt Castle didn't look that great last week, and I just don't think they'll be able to bounce back.
Let me ask you, is that Eric Berry playing for the Chiefs?
I don't think
so. Is Calvin Johnson playing, though? For the Lions,
so.
Yeah, he's playing, right.
Megatron,
Megatron against no Eric Berry secondary, please.
It's gonna
in Detroit.
Be,
Stafford could throw for 300.
Our favorite team, the world champion Green Bay Packers versus Cam Newton and the Panthers. I'm gonna go with the Packers. Could be a lot closer than people think, but don't be surprised if this is 55 to 2, or not maybe 3.
Who am I picking?
Gee, I wonder.
I don't know. I don't know. Who is this? Is this Carolina?
No. It looks like the world champion Green Bay Packers.
I'm picking these guys. I'm picking the Packers.
And it's not being a homer. It's just the simple fact that it's the Panthers. So.
Because I'm picking the Bears next week.
Oh.
Bears are going to win that game at home.
I won't be surprised at all. Because they usually do.
I'm not even going to make that pick next week. You're just going to have to look up the tape.
On the Patriots versus the Chargers. This is tough. I'm going to go with the Patriots, but I just don't know.
Brady at home. That's it.
He doesn't
Brady and Belichick at home. I don't care what the Chiefs do. Norv Turner's still the head coach, right?
Yeah.
And he's still terrible, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just a little stupid.
Patriots, please.
Eagles versus the Falcons. Gonna go with the Eagles. Michael Vick's just gonna destroy that secondary. We've talked about those games so much. Who do you think's gonna win?
I am sick and tired of people talking about Michael Vick. Mm-hmm. I'm just done. I'm not gonna buy into him until he shows me.
He can win playoff
games. Too many people are picking Philadelphia.
Okay.
Atlanta at home.
All right.
They're going to turn it around. Matt Ryan is going to show up, like I'm saying that he hasn't been. I'm taking Atlanta in this game. I might be one of the only ones.
Maybe.
But I'm taking Atlanta.
I won't be too surprised, but I really just think that the explosiveness of this offense and they're pretty good
Either way, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, that's going to be
the best game of the weekend.
Yeah. All right, that's how we think this week 2 for at least Sunday is going to go down. Monday, Brian Hartson will be taking over the show to do his Monday Night Madness show. And what is the Monday night game this week?
Rams Giants.
Oh,
Sam Bradford versus Eli Manning.
Game.
That's a terrible game. Not gonna lie to you.
Because Eli Manning is he's not that great of a quarterback. I don't care if he has a ring or not. And then you have Sam Bradford who's still getting used to things.
Yep.
But that's how we see week 2 going down. And this is the Cory Bender Show here on the BWC Network.